So this week, China has basically gone full hog, not even hiding it anymore. They are trying to absolutely control us in every aspect. And I know that some of you are going to be thinking that this is in response to China accusing America of racism thing, because that's real now. But no, this happened before the Chinese government picked up on that, and quite frankly, people have been accused of being racist so much now that that word has lost all meaning. What I am making reference to is a DC comic cover. Now, this comic was not going to be sold in China. This had nothing to do with China. It wasn't set in China. There was nothing about China in this at all. And China got really, really upset at this cover. And I would like to once again state, every time that I say China, I mean the Chinese Communist Party and their leadership, not the people. I'm pretty sure the people are as pissed off at the tyrannical dictatorial regime that they're under as anybody else. Whenever I talk about China, I am talking the government. Okay? So China saw a comic cover that had absolutely nothing to do with them, accused it of having to do something with them, and made an American company take it down. I'm pretty sure it was because they threatened that American company that if they did not destroy this comic cover that was in a comic that they would never see, that they would then no longer allow movies that this company made to be distributed in China. Because that's typically how they work. If you don't have a product that is directly being sold to China, then they will threaten everything else that you have that is being sent to China or deals with China. Now this cover, and I'm going to have a screen cap of it, is a Batman cover. It's from a new comic series. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's more focused on a younger, more of the day situation. I don't know. I don't care. What it was Batman throwing a Molotov cocktail. That's it. And China accused that comic image, because it was a Molotov cocktail and because it was a person dressed all in black, of supporting the Hong Kong Revolution. I'm not even joking. I wish I could make that up, but I'm not. But apparently it does go one step further even. Because the comic is called like Golden Young or something to that effect, they also accuse it of, oh, well, it's got golden in the name, and golden is yellow, and yellow is a color that the Hong Kong protesters use, ergo, it supports the Hong Kong protesters. This is crazy conspiracy theory stuff that would be laughed at by anybody else, but because it's the Chinese government that's saying it, American companies have to bend the knee if they don't want to lose all of that China money from something else that they make. And this just really blows my mind. And this is what I've been talking about for months now. China has absolutely no control over this. They have nothing to do with this. It doesn't involve them in any way. This is a comic that is not being sent to China, and yet they have complete say over what is and is not permissible for something that they will never see and never hear about. China is just trying to see how far they can go and how much control they have over everything. And it's times like this that I really do think that we need to just put down our foot and say, no, you cater to China, you pander to China, you give in to China's ludicrous demands, and we're done. Go to China then. Do not stay in America. You lose your right to be a company in America if you do this. And yes, this sounds like I'm taking an extreme because of just a comic cover. It always starts somewhere small, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's how we currently have a situation where a comedian is being fined $35,000 for making a joke up in Canada. Because it's always some small thing first, and then it just keeps getting bigger. The whole slippery slope fallacy is no longer a fallacy because every fucking week we see something that is exactly what the slippery slope fallacy would have said. That's just a slippery slope fallacy, that'll never happen. And yet week after week, some level of insanity does keep happening because you just have to start at a baby step and then it gets worse and worse and worse. We really need to crack down on companies doing this. We need to start. I don't know exactly what would be required, laws, regulations, unregulations. I don't know exactly. I really don't. But there needs to be just a massive stop to this at this point. Because if it doesn't, China will have more say over what we as Americans can do than we Americans have a say in that. That's the future that I see happening because you start with a corporation and then eventually it is consuming all. You start small, or in this case, big, and then you just keep going, keep pushing, keep continuing to see how far you can get. If you get stopped, you push back a little bit, and then after a little bit of calm down period, you keep going further and further and further. This is how countries strip rights away. Usually it's the country itself that does it, not a foreign country that's doing that to a different country. But welcome to the 21st century where we're a global civilization. People have asked me why I am a nationalist in the sense that I believe in if you are from a country that you should only have direct influence on your own country. Here you go. Nations and borders exist for a reason. This is it. I don't know what it would take to stop this kind of insanity, but we really need to start doing it soon. Because if this is as weak and as conspiratorial as they need to get to be upset, and then companies will just instantly do it like that, then I am scared of what they will just force companies to do further down the road. In a year or two, they might start actually taking rights away. I know that seems extreme, but who the fuck would have guessed that a comic book cover would have been removed because China had a conspiracy theory? You said that 5 years ago, people would have laughed. Anyway, this has just been Math Machine saying, fuck DC for bowing down to this dictatorship. God damn, I hope that they pay for this. Peace out.